This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Welcome to the Wire Broker Edition, the week in real estate, presented in digestible bites. Hold on while our AI hosts take us on another ride through this week's top real estate headlines.
Welcome back to The Wire, everyone. Great to be with you all again.
Always a pleasure.
So, our broker owners out there, you guys always keep us on our toes with all the latest happenings in the industry.
Yeah, the news just keeps coming.
It does. It really does. We've been sifting through a ton of it lately. Try to boil it all down to the stuff that really matters, stuff that's going to give you that edge.
Absolutely. That's the whole point of these deep dives, to help you all make sense of it all.
Exactly. So today we're not just going to run through the headlines, right? We want to get into the why, the how, the trends, and maybe even where things might not quite add up.
The contradictions, the things that make you go, that's interesting.
Right. And ultimately, we want to equip you with the insights you need to navigate this crazy real estate world. I mean, things are changing so fast.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure.
It is. So we're going to cover a lot, major shakeups, the big players making moves, how listings are handled. Seems like that's always evolving. And of course, agents on the move.
Yeah.
Lots to dig into.
There is a lot of fascinating stuff happening. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it. One of the things that really jumps out at me from all this news is just how much strategic maneuvering is going on. I mean, it's not just about individual companies growing. It feels bigger than that.
Yeah, you're right. It's like everyone's trying to reshape the whole playing field.
Exactly. And, the first wave that we just can't ignore is this massive trend of consolidation and partnerships. It's everywhere. Like rocket companies acquiring Redfin for $1.75 billion is huge.
Massive. And it's not just the size of the deal, it's the implications. What does it tell us about the future of the industry?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to wonder, right? I mean, beyond the headline, what's really interesting is what Rocket's saying about their reasons for doing this. They're saying it's about Redfin's data.
Right. They call them a data powerhouse. And they want to use that data to create a more seamless experience, connecting search and financing all in one.
Streamlining, right. Makes you wonder, what does this kind of power move from, a giant in the mortgage world, tell us about the traditional brokerage model? I mean, are we going to see more of this blurring of the lines?
Good question. And how will it impact broker owners, the ones who are really focused on those agent services? There are a lot of potential ripple effects to consider.
Totally. And another interesting thing here, Redfin CEO Glenn Kelman, he's staying on. And the Redfin brand, that's staying too. So it doesn't feel like a hostile takeover, It's more like a strategic alignment.
Yeah, joining forces, more of a we can be stronger together kind of thing.
Right. I mean, they're building this national powerhouse now, right? It spans lending, brokerage, title, and of course, Redfin's huge home search platform. Think about it. Nearly 50 million people visit Redfin every month.
It's a massive audience, and even though Redfin has had some financial ups and downs lately, you can't deny the value of that user base and the data they have. For Rocket, that's gold.
Absolutely. And the market definitely reacted, right? Redfin's stock went way up while Rocket's dipped a little.
Yeah, classic acquisition stuff. The buyer often sees a little dip, and the company being acquired jumps up.
Right. But it shows you just how much value Redfin brings, and I think this is a direct challenge to Zillow and CoStar.
Oh, absolutely. They're both putting a ton of resources into their online platforms. Now they have a serious new competitor.
Yeah, it's getting crowded at the top. This new Rocket-Redfin combo, they're aiming for $200 million in run rate synergies by 2027. That's their estimate for how much more efficient and profitable they'll be together. It's pretty ambitious.
It is. And with the deal expected to close sometime in the second or third quarter of this year, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Totally agree. All right, so let's shift gears a bit. Another partnership that caught our eye was United Real Estate joining up with More Realty.
Yeah, interesting one.
Yeah. Now, for those who might not be familiar, More Realty, they're the biggest independent brokerage in Oregon. And they've got a good presence in a few other states, too.
They do. And what's fascinating about this partnership is that it's not an acquisition, it's an affiliation.
Right. More Realty, they're keeping their ownership, their name, their leadership. It's all staying the same.
It seems like a way for them to tap into United's resources and national network, but still hold on to their local identity.
Makes sense. And for United, it's a smart move, too. Gives them a foothold in Nevada and New Mexico, places they haven't been before. Now they're up to 34 states, over 22,000 agents.
Yeah, it's a significant expansion for them.
It is. And more realty, they're not messing around either. They've got some big plans for growth, talking about tripling their client numbers in the next few years.
Ambitious, but it sounds like they're confident. And they specifically mentioned what appealed to them about united trust in their people, growth opportunities for their agents, and things like purchasing power.
Makes you think, right? When a brokerage is looking for a partner, it's about more than just size. It's about the people, the culture, the opportunities.
Absolutely. And technology, too. More Realty also mentioned the appeal of United's Bullseye platform and their national referral network.
Yeah, technology and referrals, that's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, another merger that caught our attention. iRealty Arkansas. They were the biggest independent brokerage in their state, and they've merged with the Jason Mitchell Group.
JMG, yeah. They've been making moves lately.
They have, and it seems like iRealty Arkansas was really looking for access to JMG's tech, their support systems, and especially their referral network. Those are the big things for them.
And JMG, they're no slouch when it comes to referrals. Over 120,000 last year, which translated to a whopping $5 billion in sales.
Wow, that's impressive.
And they're not just in one region either. They've got a national presence, 42 states, 150 metro areas, over 800 agents.
I mean, when you have that kind of reach, the referral potential is just incredible.
It is. And another thing that stood out, iRealty Arkansas, they were already focused on getting leads for their agents. But they said JMG does it on a whole other level.
Right, and that's a huge draw for a brokerage, being able to provide their agents with quality leads.
Absolutely. And JMG, they've also got those strong relationships with lenders and title companies, helps create a much smoother process for everyone involved.
Seamless transactions, everyone wants that, right? Clients, agents, everyone. It's a win-win. Okay, last one in this category, and it's in the luxury market. Carolwood Estates, top boutique brokerage in L.A. They've joined forces with Forbes Global Properties.
Interesting. So they're going for that high-end, prestigious market.
Right, right. They dominate the luxury market in L.A., consistently ranked #1, especially in those really high-end price points like $10 million, $20 million and up.
So what's the appeal for them in this partnership?
Access. Pure and simple. Forbes, they've got an incredible audience, super affluent, over 167 million people.
Wow, that's a lot of potential buyers and sellers.
It is. And for a brokerage like Carolwood, who's already targeting that high net worth crowd, it's a perfect match.
Makes sense. Aligning with a brand that already speaks to your target audience. So looking at all these moves together, it's clear that there are a lot of different reasons for these partnerships and mergers.
Yeah, it's not just one thing, right? It's about scale, technology, leads, reaching the right markets. Shows you just how dynamic and strategic things are right now.
Absolutely. I think it also highlights the intense competition out there. Brokerages are constantly searching for ways to stand out, offer something unique, to be the best option for both agents and clients.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's talk about something that's been a hot topic for a while now, private listings. And this whole debate around the Clear Cooperation Policy, the CCP from NAR, it's been bubbling under the surface, and now things seem to be heating up.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some interesting developments. And Compass is right at the center of it all. They've taken a very bold stance.
They have. I mean, inviting agents from outside their brokerage to use their coming soon listings. That's a big move.
It is. It's a key part of their three-phase marketing plan. First, they have exclusive listings, then coming soon, and finally, they hit the MLS.
It's interesting, right? And Compass's CEO, Robert Refkin, he's been pretty vocal about this. He's directly challenging NAR and the CCP, saying homeowners should have more control over how their properties are marketed, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, he's arguing that it protects sellers, prevents them from racking up days on market if a property isn't ready for the full MLS blast.
And they've actually got the numbers to back it up. Their off-MLS inventory has been growing steadily. They're calling them private exclusive listings, and those make up a decent chunk of their total listings.
And when you combine those with their coming soon properties, it's a significant portion of their inventory. Over a third, in fact. That's a lot of homes that are being marketed outside the traditional MLS system, at least initially.
It is. But, you know, there's another side of this story, right? Some argue that pocket listings actually sell for less. We've seen data from Zillow, for example, that supports that view. So is this strategy really benefiting sellers in the long run? It's a big question.
Definitely. And remember, NAR is still looking at the CCP Things could change. The rules could shift. It's a bit of a moving target right now.
So we've got Compass pushing for more off-MLS options, and then we have KW Go, Keller Williams' biggest franchise network. They're doing their own thing.
Right, their private collection. Essentially, it's their network of private listings. And get this, it's already hit $1 billion in volume. That's a lot of off-market action.
$1 billion, that's massive. And they've only been doing this for a year with 3,000 private listings already in the system. They're saying they want to double that by 2026.
Ambitious, for sure.
They're framing it as giving sellers more choices. But again, you hear those same concerns, right? Does it really benefit the seller in the end to limit exposure? And could it lead to some tricky disclosure situations down the line?
Definitely valid points. And I think it raises a bigger question about transparency in the market. If more and more listings are kept private, how does that impact buyers and their agents?
Exactly. Do they have equal access to all the available properties? Or does it create a two-tiered system that favors certain players?
Right. And it's interesting, KWGO says they do have a disclosure agreement for their private collection listings. And their founder, Smokey Garrett, he says that about 90% of those listings eventually end up on the MLS anyway.
So if they end up there anyway, what's the point of keeping them private in the first place?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some speculate it's about giving certain brokerages, especially the bigger ones, a chance to control those listings and potentially double-end deals within their own networks.
Could be. But for smaller brokerages, that's a problem. If they're not in the loop on those private listings, they're at a disadvantage.
Absolutely. And it could end up hurting buyers, too. If they don't have access to all the options, they might miss out on the perfect property.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. It goes back to that tension between seller control and maintaining an open and transparent market. All right, so moving on to our third big theme, which is agent movement and the strategies we're seeing from different brokerages. It's been a busy time, lots of shuffling going on.
It has been. Let's start with 4 Degrees Real Estate. They're a pretty big player in Washington State, doing over $300 million in sales. They just decided to join eXp Realty.
Big move.
And they were very specific about why. They wanted access to eXp's technology, they liked the collaborative environment, and they felt like the financial benefits were just better at eXp.
Interesting. It shows you the appeal of these cloud-based brokerage models.
Definitely. For some firms, it's a no-brainer.
Then we have Bo Blankenship and Jacob Watkins, 2 super successful brokers in Florida. They're launching a new Christie's International Real Estate franchise, Emerald Coast.
Wow, starting with 130 agents. That's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they're not playing around. And they're both experienced, too. They've already closed billions in sales between them.
So why Christie's? What's the draw?
Brand recognition, for sure. Christie's, that name carries weight. It's about prestige, global reach, and tapping into a network of high-end clients.
Makes sense, especially in a market like Florida, where luxury is a big deal. Okay, so we have brokerages making moves, but individual agents are on the move too?
They are. Eileen Foy, billion-dollar agent in New York City, she just jumped to Compass. And guess what her reason was?
Technology, I bet.
Bingo. She specifically said it was Compass's tech that drew her in.
Yeah, for agents at that level, having the best tools can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. But here's a twist. We also saw 2 teams in Denver, the New Door Group and the Soreto Group. They actually left Compass and went to Coldwell Banker.
Interesting. What made them switch?
They talked about Coldwell Banker's reputation, their global network, and their marketing tools. So it's not always just about the tech.
Right. Sometimes it's about the brand, the reach, the support.
Exactly. And beyond those big moves, we saw some other notable things. Coldwell Banker Warburg in New York, they picked up 2 new agents. The agency, they're expanding on Long Island. England Volkers, they opened a new shop in Colorado. It's like musical chairs out there.
It is, and it shows you how competitive the brokerage landscape is. Everyone's fighting for talent, trying to create the best environment for their agents to thrive.
Absolutely. So broker owners, pay attention. What are you doing to attract and retain top agents? What's your unique selling point?
Great questions. And remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Yeah.
Different agents are looking for different things.
Totally agree. Okay, a quick note on leadership. Houlihan Lawrence, they just promoted Stephanie Williams to Senior VP of Marketing. She's been instrumental in their digital transformation and modernization efforts.
Smart move. It shows they're serious about investing in a strong online presence and giving their agents the tools they need to succeed in the digital world.
Absolutely. And lastly, we can't forget about Real Brokerage. They just had a banner year, hit $1 billion in revenue for the first time, massive growth in transactions, and they added a whopping 10,000 agents in 2024 alone.
That's incredible growth. What's their secret sauce?
Well, they've got some innovative programs like Real Wallet, which offers agents instant access to their commissions. And they're doing a lot to support independent brokerages with their private label offering.
Smart. Give agents what they want, give them flexibility, and give them the opportunity to grow their business. That's a winning formula. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Mergers, acquisitions, agent movement, new strategies. When you look at it all together, what stands out to you?
You know, the thing that really jumps out at me is this whole situation with Compass and the clear cooperation policy. It's more than just a disagreement. It feels like a potential turning point for the industry.
I agree. Robert Refkin, the CEO of Compass, he's not mincing words. He's publicly challenging NAR, encouraging agents from other brokerages to use their Coming Soon platform, and essentially building a substantial inventory of off-MLS listings. That's a bold move.
It is. It's almost like he's saying, we're not going to wait for NAR to change the rules. We're going to do things our way.
Exactly. And it's not just talk, they're actually doing it. And it raises questions about the long-term viability of the CCP. If a major player like Compass is openly defying it, what does that mean for everyone else?
Great question. I mean, broker owners need to be paying very close attention to this. If the rules of the game are changing, you need to know how to adapt. So what's the takeaway for our listeners? What's the one thing they should be focusing on?
I think the key takeaway is this. In today's market, you have to be adaptable. You have to constantly evaluate your offerings, your technology, your support systems, and your listing strategies. Are you giving your agents what they need to compete? Are you staying ahead of the curve?
The consolidation we're seeing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Competition is fierce, and it's only going to get more intense.
Yeah.
So you need to find your niche, your unique value proposition, and make sure you're delivering it effectively.
Absolutely. And keep an eye on the whole private listing situation. That's a story that's still unfolding, and it could have a major impact on how you do business.
Couldn't agree more. All right, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. We covered a ton of ground. Hopefully you all feel a little more informed and maybe even a little inspired to take action.
Remember, in real estate, the only constant is change. Stay informed, be adaptable, and keep challenging yourself to be the best broker owner you can be.
And as always, we love hearing from you. So connect with us, share your thoughts, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep leading the way.
If you're interested in your own personalized edition of The Wire, please visit us at thewire.fm/custom. We offer market-specific podcasts with all the latest real estate news and market analysis delivered to you weekly or monthly. Own your market with a personalized edition of The Wire, the week in real estate. Thank you for listening.